Introduction to World Religion and Belief System. Hinduism Today. Hinduism displays tremendous variety even in India, its birthplace. India's place at the forefront of the 21st century globalization and modernization has impacted religious practice as well. Rural life mostly has gone on as it has for centuries, despite the introduction of radio, television, the internet, or any technologies. But in cities, a burgeoning middle class is being changed by the secularizing influences of westernization. India is noted for its progress in science and technology. It's also the world's largest democracy, and political aspiration of its people sometimes clash with Hindu values. This clash is most evident today in the social science and economic aspirations of the Dalits or the untouchables, the one that we have discussed about the lower class or caste system in India or in Hinduism. For centuries, given the lowest jobs, they achieved legal rights at India's independence from Great Britain in 1947. Remembering Mahatma Gandhi called them Harijan or Children of God, and India's constitution outlawed the caste system. But just as 1960s civil rights laws didn't eliminate racial prejudice in the US, discrimination against Dalits has continued even in today. India has a form of affirmative action that has guaranteed a percentage of university admissions and government jobs to each case. And there are Dalits who have earned PhDs, but they are still denied entry into many hotels and restaurants. The upper case believe their presence would bring defilement. For devout Hindus, the Dalits are born into their state during to karma from a previous life. To seek improvement is to only make things worse next time round. Some Dalits have protested against Hinduism entirely by formally and publicly converting to Christianity, or more recently, Buddhism. The case issue is still challenging traditional Hindu beliefs, and change is very slow. Cross-case marriages are slowly being accepted among the educated urban population, but in rural areas, they can still result in the so-called honor killings. As Indians have migrated to many parts of the world over the centuries, this diversity of religious expression has increased even more. While Indians in East Africa, Guyana, and even here in Southeast Asia, in Bali, Indonesia, live fairly traditional lives and have seen little change in religious practices. Those who have migrated in the United Kingdom or the United States, even in Canada, they face cultural pressures of many types. Lifestyle are busier with less time for communal worship. Public education is a secularizing influence on children, and the cost of land in large cities makes the construction of temples difficult, and travel distance may be prohibited. Even so, Hindus in the West continue to practice their faith. And so there is a struggle. Once you move out from India, but still carrying the religious belief of Hinduism, there is a struggle. As I said earlier, the land itself, the cost of the land in large cities makes the temple or the construction of temple difficult. One adaptation immigrant Indians have made is in building multi-purpose temples that service a broad spectrum of the Hindu community. For example, in the United States, the largest Hindu temple in the US in Minnesota have 7 district sections so that devotees of different gods can worship in the same facility. It's a matter of organizing and coordinating with the people. Many former church buildings have turned into Hindu temples after Christian congregations disband, merge, or move to the suburbs or churches that had been defunct. For Hindu migrants, this is an opportunity for them to buy the land or the property and start to worship or practice their faith. This is one means of finding ways to practice their faith. Most Hindus make no effort to proselytize or fish coming from other religion. Generally, they see karma as universal. If a person is born into a Muslim or Christian family, that is their dharma, and that's what they should remain this time around. So, evangelizing or proselytizing or campaigning your Hindu religion to another religion is a big no, because that is a dharma for anyone, for a person. If you were born Christian, you have to live with it. You have to do the duty as being a Christian. For Hindus, other religions are just a few more of the 3,000 plus case, because Hinduism itself has such a variety encompassing polytheism, monism, and even a form of monotheism. It easily adopts other faiths. For example, Muslim, Christian, Sikh, Jain, or the Jainism, and even Buddhism, minorities have lived in India for centuries, because Hinduism can adopt other faiths. But there have been exceptions. Not long ago, there is a Hindu nationalist party won a majority of seats in India's parliament. Their platform as a form of government is very simple. India is for Hindus only, convert or live. The government turned a blind eye as Hindu mobs torch mosques and churches, beating, raping, and killing Muslims and Christians. There had been an international outcry was heard after Graham Staines, an Australian Christian missionary who cared for lepers, who was burned alive along with his young sons. Most Hindus were outraged as everyone else by the violence. The Hindu Nationalist uh, Party eventually was voted out of office after that incident. Some tensions still remain in today's time, and there are still occasional outbreaks, but persecutions of non-Hindus has subsided in recent years. There were few forms of Hinduism to seek to propagate the faith and encourage conversions. For example, the Vedanta Society, teaching a highly philosophical and monistic form of Hinduism, has sent missionaries to the West since the 19th century and has centered in most large North American and European cities. Better known because of their street witnessing and public singing and chanting, are followers of Hare Krishna. There have been devotees of Krishna ever since the Bhagavad Gita was written, but this group gained prominence in recent decades and began to send missionaries to the West. The Hare Krishna groups outside India today are composed primarily of converts and have very few ethnic Indians. For example, the Beatles had been a member of the Hare Krishna or a follower of Hare Krishna. The Filipina singer Sampaguita is a Hare Krishna devotee. The Woods band are Hare Krishna devotees. Hindu belief, if not organized Hinduism, has spread even more widely in the West through transcendental meditation and New Age religions. And how was that? This is claims to be non-religious, but its practices are based on a yogic form of Hinduism. Example, yoga. It's a now popular form of stress relief and exercise, which comes from a Sanskrit word meaning yoke. And in Hinduism, yoga or yoke means you are joining the practitioner with Brahman. So that is some kind of a new age religion that was originated or has its origin in Hinduism. That is Hinduism in today's time. And we have tackled already in the last podcast that we have the origins and the beliefs and practices. And now we have the Hinduism as of today.